welcome to the Quayside in Gateshead for the third annual Great North City Games. The event takes the form of a match, and this year it's the athletes of Great Britain versus the athletes of the United States of America. It's a head-to-head over 10 events on the track, in the field and on the road. The first event on this Quayside is the men's road mile. They're getting ready to get underway. Sitting alongside me, Tim Hutchins once again.
There is the full lineup: Andrew Asagi, Luke Gunn, Bruce Rayside, the British trio, the American trio, Bernard Lagat, Kyle Miller and Donald Cowart. They're about to get underway, and they do. For this first event, the Great North City Games is off. And Bernard Lagat, I don't think will want to make this particularly fast, but if he's done his homework, he'll know that Andrew Asagi there, Stuart, to the right of picture, tall character, 6'2", black belt in karate, by the way, although I don't think he'll get too physical, will have very, very good finishing speed if they let this become a slow tactical affair. So while Bernard won't want to really push this out to something way, way below 4 minutes, I don't think he'll want it to be very slow either.
Andrew Asagi on the right of your shot, tall figure, 800 metre specialist, a best of 1:45.36 this season. Fifth in the London Diamond League over 800 metres, got to the semi-final of the World Championships. And it's interesting, this doesn't run the event very often, but you never know. I mean, his personal best is not particularly quick at 3:48, but I think that's because he hasn't actually run, and he's become a much better athlete since that time, over 800 metres. And I would think that it'll be a little while before the race itself begins to emerge.
Well, Lagat's are controlling things at the moment with Cowart. It's quite a narrow track there. There is room to come past them, but certainly they're allowing Lagat to dictate proceedings. And I think that's perhaps something the British lads should have been aware of, and they should be trying to negate. I think it would have been good if one of them had come round and just settled down in front of Lagat and said, no, I'm going to mess up your game plan, because frankly it's unfolding at the moment with 1.5 minutes on the clock, exactly the way Bernard wants it to. He is the Grand Master. Let's not forget that he was world champion at 1500 metres 4 years ago in Osaka. But you know, he's a wily racer, and if they really let this unfold the way he wants it to, then they are playing into his hands, I have to say. So I'd like to see Asagi, or one of the other two British lads, just get involved in the racing up front a bit more.
We've mentioned Donnie Cowart, the United States, on the just alongside Bernard Lagat. He's a steeplechaser. He was sixth in the American Championships, and has a best of 8:26.38, which is pretty comparable with Luke Gunn, the British steeplechase #1, who's also in this race. He's got a best over 1500 3:42, which is not bad for a steeplechaser, and he's really finding it difficult to stay in contact at the moment, and that's disappointing. But certainly the Americans here have a pedigree which will take some dislodging, I would think.
Well, here they go over the swing bridge. That's the westernmost extremity of the course. They're heading south now, down towards the Gateshead side of the route. They'll take another left here, swing left, and then they're into a long finishing straight. And Lagat certainly upped the tempo there, quite noticeably. He just turned it up a click, accelerated once onto the bridge. 2 minutes 50 on the clock now, and Asagi is the man he should be wary of. But at the moment, it's 1-2-3 to the Americans here. Lagat beginning to stride away. The Britons really struggling. Certainly Asagi is still there, but Rayside and Gunn looking like they can't stay with this pace. Just over 3 minutes on the clock, 3:09 there at 3/4 mile. It's not been particularly quick, not particularly taxing, but Asagi is still there. He's still dogging the heels of the American trio. Lagat, however, we know he's in very good shape. Last Saturday, a week ago exactly, he ran 7:32 to win the 3,000 metres in Rieti, the glorious little Italian town an hour or so outside Rome, up in the hills, which is a very, very quick time, and he's turning it faster and faster all the time. Here is Lagat. He's running a very, very smart race. About 200 metres to run. Lagat here leading, and he's broken Asagi. The Britain's got a lot of work to do. Up onto the track, there's a slight climb now. And don't forget, Lagat has great speed. It's a 3:46 miler. This isn't going to be sub-4 here today, I think, but it's a very, very tasty last 400 from Bernard Lagat. He's outsmarted them, totally controlled this race. Good running from Miller in second place. Asagi's going to be third, but Bernard Lagat in a tactical race, winning there in 4:06.1. Very, very easily indeed. what made it very, very difficult for the others there is that Bernard Lagat, once he got his nose in front with about 600-700 meters to run, he just kept gradually accelerating. And when somebody's accelerating all the time, you've got to make a double acceleration if you're behind them to catch up with them. And Assaji, I thought at one point, might even threaten Lagat with about 400 or 500 to go, but Bernard ran a very, very smart race indeed. Confirmation of that win for Bernard Lagat, 4:06.01 from Kyle Miller, his teammate under Assaji, the Briton, just making it into the first three there, but some way back at the finish line.
I knew it was going to be fun. That's why I kept telling myself, I want to have fun, I want to enjoy. I've come here all the time running at Gateshead, and it's a really fun place to be. So I'm pleased with the run today and, of course, the win.
There is the lineup for the 100-metre hurdle. Sarah McGreevy drawn in lane 1, Dawn Harper in 2, Ashley Helsbury in 3, and Danielle Carruthers in lane 4. Carruthers really going well, and the two Americans way ahead at the moment. And Carruthers and Harper, these two neck and neck as they come towards the final stages of this race. Carruthers and Harper, look at them, who's going to prevail here? I think Harper just got that. It's very, very close indeed on the line. I'm not surprised, plus 0.3 meters per second. Harper, I think, wins it. She was the fresher of the two, I must say, and the two British girls, so thank you very much. But that was a real experience for them.
Yeah, with all due respect to Sarah McGreevy and Ashley Helsby, that was a mismatch, and even that would be an understatement. Very good shot this, you can see the effort there, the concentration from Danielle Carruthers. She's aware just to the left of her field of vision of Dawn Harper easing ahead. Harper very, very quick, and there's no disgracing being beaten by the Olympic champion.
There's the result. Dawn Harper just confirmed at 12.73, Danielle Carruthers 12.77, Sarah McGreevy 13.46 in third place. Very good run indeed. Well, now to the women's mile. Hannah England, World Championship silver medalist, Jenny Meadows, Britain's top 800-metre runner, and Helen Clitheroe, European indoor 3,000-metre champion. What a team for Great Britain. So this women's mile underway, and Jenny Meadows and Hannah England will want to establish themselves here against the Americans. They're joined by Emma Pallant, one of the Mick Woods stable. We've got so many of these young athletes who are doing so well. 1 or 2 injuries in that camp, though, having said that. But certainly Hannah England, who finished right in the centre of your shot now, who finished so strongly in the World Championships and really deserved that silver medal. She kept out of trouble. Husseini of the United States fell, Jamal fell. There were lots and lots of incident in the race, and at the end of it all, Hannah England just kept clean, kept clear, and came from 7th to 2nd in the home straight, and that was pretty good going.
Yeah, and of course Hannah England raced last night in Brussels. She finished 5th in the final Diamond League meeting of the season, trying to come from behind again, but it's not a tactic that always brings the rewards you might hope. Jenny there, of course, racing in Zurich, 9 days ago, came 3rd in the 800 there, but actually was confirmed as Diamond League champion for 800 metres. And if this race is on the slow side, then I do think Jenny Meadows might spring a bit of a surprise here. And Hannah England, who's a pretty canny racer, should be aware of that. She's got a very, very good record in the road mile, has Hannah England, the tall, blonde girl to the far side, as we see them running down that north side of the Tyne in a westerly direction. The same circuit, remember, giant capital U, as that negotiated by the men half an hour or so ago. And Britain certainly need a point in this one, Stuart. We need the win.
Helen Clitheroe on the right of your shot, the European indoor 3,000-metre champion at the beginning of this season. It's her first major title, and really how she enjoyed that. She made the final of the 5,000 metres in Dago, found that very tough going indeed, and she's got the full range. She won a 10k in Manchester earlier on this year, and she leads with Hannah England in 2nd place, Pallant in 3rd place, then comes Jenny Meadows, and then behind her is Trania Moser of the United States, shorter figure, and then behind her is Julie Lucas, the other American. But this is a good pace being set now by Helen Clitheroe, and as you say, Tim, we desperately need a win. Being partisan for a moment, Great Britain desperately need a win, and there is a gap opening up.
Well, this is pretty much what I expected from Helen. She's a strong athlete, very good cross-country runner. She's a world-class cross-country runner and 3,000 and 5,000 metre runner. Not the same speed she used to have. She was a winner of the European Cup at 1,500 metres about 10 years ago. Has a best of 4:01. But I think she wants to try and drag the sting out of athletes like Jenny Meadows and make the middle of the race really hurt. Interesting to see Hannah England, though, the one athlete that's gone with her. She's wise to this tactic from Helen Clitheroe, and she'll want to stick with the ageing Helen Clitheroe, who's running so well. Talk about a twilight stage of her career that has gone wonderfully well. She's 37 now, Helen Clitheroe. She's had her best year ever in the sport of athletics, but she's up against a very, very talented and smart racing Hannah England here, which could be tough.
Yeah, Hannah England's definitely developed in the international arena this season. She's now taken over the lead, looks very comfortable indeed. Remember, she's a 4:01.89 athlete, established a personal best. That's on the track this year. And of course that confidence, the confidence that comes from a performance of merit in a world or major championship really does change your life and change your psyche, change the way that you regard races. The American leading, I think that's Moser, the US champion at 1,500 metres 3 times, although Usini at the moment is the top athlete. She won in Brussels last night. Usini, of course, who was one of the fallers in the World Championships. And Britain well away here, 2 athletes well away, and it'd be interesting to see whether Hannah England can hold off Helen Clitheroe. Remember, we think of Helen as a longer racer, but she was a very, very fine 1,500 metre runner before, and as you say, may well have lost a little bit of form. But here they come, and it's going to be a sprint finish, Hannah England versus Helen Clitheroe. And these two absolutely flying down the straight here, and Hannah England's going to get there. She gets there, the World Championship silver medalist wins, and it's a point for Great Britain. England's first, Helen Clitheroe in second place. And it looks as though it could be Moser in third. I think it's Moser, but England has won this one and won it well. It's good to see. 4:39.5. Clitheroe in second place, and I think it's Moser coming through in third. Well, there's the result. Hannah England 4:39.49. Helen Clitheroe 4:40.65, and it was Trenia Moser of the United States 4:44.05 in third place.
I raced in Brussels last night, so it's a bit of a whirlwind, so really chuffed to get the win today. So it's the third year in a row I've won it, so it's nice.
In the pole vault, Holly Bleasdale of Great Britain, the world teenage record holder, entered the competition at 3 metres and 96. Holly went on to clear 4 metres and 12, but failed 4 metres and 27. Becky Holliday then had needed 2 attempts at 4 metres and 12, but this first time clearance at 4 metres and 27 did in fact prove to be the winning vault, and the USA added 1 more point to their team total.